And folks, I've got the fabulous and unforgettable Mark Winkler.
Thank you.
It's true.
Where is it? Oh, no. I'm here.
Okay, so the whole part of us getting together again after our first interview is about your fabulous new album.
Yeah.
In fact,
I agree.
well, I've been listening to it for the last 3 days and just enjoying the sounds, because there's a new take of Billy Joel classic that surprised the heck out of me, which is Vienna.
Right.
But I like the other songs almost as much. The Catwoman on the Moon, for one, which is perfect for Halloween.
It is. That's funny. I haven't thought of it. It is a really good Halloween song. That's true.
And the devil, I think it's The Devil Won't Take a Saint, is also one that I actually enjoy. Folks, I've got Mark Winkler with me. We've actually had the chance of actually doing an interview almost a year ago, if I remember correctly. And I got to know this fine music writer, singer. He was still getting up on his chops, and pianist, which
Well, I'm not really much of a pianist, Yannick. I play piano, but the reason I have 6 piano players on this record is because I'm such a lousy piano player.
Well, you write
honest.
you write with the piano, but other than that, well, I'm glad that you're the main focus of the album.
Right.
And I've noticed in the last year that your actual singing has gotten heck in the upgrade stages. You actually decided to actually push yourself to have a better voice, which
Thank you.
makes the
I'm
album.
taking singing lessons. I've been doing this for 48 years.
Yeah.
And I have taken singing lessons before, but my singing teacher will be happy about that. For the last 2 years, I've been taking singing lessons, and it's really given me, it's shown me different things to do with my voice, which is fantastic. Thanks for noticing.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing that I can't not notice, because I had a chance to actually have a chat with you, and you mentioned it during that period, and I went, oh, okay, well, yeah. There's people that can improve with singing lessons, and then there's those that unfortunately can't, and they're pandered to, and they're told, oh, you're doing great, we love your voice, but in the back of everyone at home is saying, oh my gosh, she or he sings so badly, but I can't tell them. But that
happens.
Yeah, it does. But in your case, that's not the case.
Oh, good.
So, when did you start doing the prep for the album? Was it 6 months ago or a little bit longer?
Well, we recorded this album. I do this all with my producer. And she's produced 10 albums with me, Barbara Brighton. So we started working on this album probably about a year ago. It's been about a year. Gathering the tunes. I always gather more songs than we do, because there's songs that are going to land on the dust heap, so to speak. And so I guess about a year. And it's a process. So the first thing we do is we pick the songs that we're going to do. And Barbara actually came up with Vienna. I had liked that song, the Billy Joel song, but I had never thought of doing it. But Barbara said, I think it would be a good song for you. So then we had to find an arranger. I kept listening to other people's versions of Vienna, and everybody did it just like Billy Joel. And I don't want to do that. Billy Joel's done it already, and he's done it very well. There's no reason for me to do it like he did it. So we got together with John Beasley, who's just a fantastic arranger, pianist. And he listened to the song and he said, okay, what does this song mean? And I told him, I said, it's about somebody who works really hard, doesn't give himself any slack. And the person is saying to this guy or this woman, you know, Vienna waits for you. You can leave it behind for a minute. You can take a breath. You know, you can like not have to work so hard, which is very pertinent to me, actually. And once I said that to John, he went, oh, I get it. And he came up with this wonderful arrangement, which doesn't sound like everybody else's version of Vienna. You know, it has its own thing.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it's been about a year. We've been making about an album a year for the last 8 years. My Future's Just a Memory, Train in the Desert, and My Electric Car. And I really enjoyed writing with him. And we've been writing a lot of material together. So You Hold On is one of the songs, and I really like that one too. It's got a great groove. I've always liked grooves, and it's got a good groove.
So, folks, just to recap, this is Mark Winkler, fabulous man, fabulous singer, fabulous songwriter, and we're talking about his album, Hold On. Mark Winkler, Hold On. Which just got released very recently. It took a year in the making to actually come about, and it's 10 weeks in studio for it to actually be crunched and then canned and then poured out so that we can actually enjoy it in masses. So with everything that you've done, is there a special preparation that you take when you go or are about to sing? Is there warm-ups or exercises that you actually do?
Yes, I do I vocalize every day.
Okay. And
that really helps. And I have new exercises now, and new ways of singing. I do. I do. I take it very seriously.
Okay.
You know, so I can tell when there's people who sing that don't, and I can tell usually because their voice isn't opened up. It takes them a while for their voice to open up. So.
Yeah, I do know that the album has been receiving a lot of good acclaim, good reviews all around. Is there, now with this done, is there another one that's going to be coming around the bend that we're not aware of?
Yeah. Well, I'm always planning for the future.
Okay.
Yannick, I'm one of these. I think in my last record I said I've got more years gone than I have left, but I'm always thinking toward the future.
Okay.
And I am. I like thinking about what I'm going to be doing. And what I'm going to be doing, and you're the first to hear, this is an exclusive. Some of the singles that I released on Spotify, I'm going to be putting them together with it's stuff I've been releasing on Spotify for the last 4 years. Okay. And I'm going to put that together and with some new tracks, and I'm going to release it as an album next year.
Oh, Mark Winkler Deluxe.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it, but I really like. You remember? I don't know if you know this. I released an EP just on Spotify last year called the Mona Lisa Sessions.
Yes. Where
I did songs that I sang as a kid with my mom. My mom was a singer, so we sang certain songs around the house, like More Than You Know and Mona Lisa, and I'm trying to think what else I sang on that record, Just in Time. And I put it, I recorded this, and I did it with Greg Gordon-Smith. He did the arrangements. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to put that together with some new stuff and some other stuff I released on Spotify. And hopefully, it's going to be a really good album.
I think we should call it.
I'm just in the process of figuring out what songs are going to make it and which songs aren't going to make it.
I think we should call it Mark Winkler Spot On.
Oh! Well, I don't want to... I released an album once called Till I Get It Right.
Mm-hmm.
in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really worried that the reviews were going to say, well, he didn't get it right this time. But they didn't. They were very nice, the reviews. But spot on, I don't know. Maybe they'll say he's spot off. I don't know. But I'll think about it.
Well, is there anything?
Spotify years.
The Spotify years? That could actually...
No. Actually, I have a title.
Oh.
I'm actually teasing. I'm not going to tell you the title.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you off camera or something.
Okay.
So I had that plan, and I actually am very excited because I've written a whole album of material for a very wonderful artist, and she's going to be going into the studio and doing it next year.
Oh, nice.
So I'm very, very excited about that.
Oh.
So I have plenty of stuff to look forward to. And this record. I love singing these songs live because the songs are real good. You know, singing Cat Women on the Moon is a lot of fun live.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
the music is relaxing, and for the whole album at the very least, I know that certain songs evoke certain emotions, all positive. But it's fun to know that you've made yourself a man that you were looking from the past to the future into something that that's great to know that you actually exist. Until I actually got a chance to actually do an interview with you a year ago, I was stunned that I didn't come across you earlier in my years. But here I am.
Well, I'm a little bit under the radar. You know, it's getting less. Things are going well for me. But, you know, there's a lot of wonderful singers, songwriters, you know, that I like that, you know, that people don't necessarily know. You know, there's a lot of people out there. Thank you.
There is. But the one thing I do know is that regardless of how many people exist, you're still one of the greats, and you're also a very photogenic man. It's true.
You know, Yannick, here's the deal. I am photogenic, and I know that because everybody tells me, and I think I am. But we all have our gifts. You know, I do yoga, and I'm terrible. I'm just the worst person in yoga. But I like doing it because it's good for me. But, you know, even in yoga, I have a couple of poses that I can do really well.
Oh, okay.
And I think in life, you know, I was given a voice. I was given the ability to write songs, but I'm not a good piano player, you know, and I'm not a good, you know, there's plenty of, I have no sense of direction, for example, yet. Do you play an instrument, Yannick? I'm going to interview you now. No, do you play an instrument? I bet you do. No?
Dabble. I used to play. I started off in music courses with a private tutor that we were. I bugged my parents at the age of 6 that I wanted to have an organ. Be it a Hammond, be it anything else. Mine, I think, was a Yamaha. It was on sale. I saw it more than once at a store in the nearby city, and I told my parents I would like to have that organ, and they bought me the organ as a Christmas gift, and I tried to play, but I was having issues trying to understand a lot of it, so they decided to get me a tutor. The closest tutor that we had at the time was a piano teacher. So she taught me how to read, how to do my chords, how to play with my fingers so that I didn't have anything squished or wrong angled and having issues. After that 1 year, we eventually found an organ teacher that actually gave me all the instructions that I had. And at one point, I switched from the organ that was in the same room, and I told her, I said, I'd like to learn a little bit of ragtime, Scott Joplin, if you've got any. I learned the Maple Leaf Rag, the Peacherine Rag, and the third one, which is the Entertainer.
Right.
And all of those I decided to try to accommodate on the organ without doing any arrangements. I just used what I had in memory, and that's my biggest issue, is that I can read music, but it takes a while for my brain to click. If I hear music, if I hear somebody else doing the interpretation, I can do the interpretation quite quicker.
Oh, yeah. My producer's like that. Her ear is good, and they always kept wanting to teach her, to read the music. And I think she does read music. I know she reads music, but she's better by ear. She likes to pick things out by ear.
Yeah, same here. Apart from that, I did it for 16 years until I went to. Well, until I decided to go to university and college. I was asked by my music teacher in primary school. I was grade 6. She asked me, would you like to do the church or church? No, not church. There's a word that I'm looking for and I can't find it. Chapel. Chapel music. And she said, could you or would you be interested in it? And I turned it down.
Yeah.
And that's one of my biggest regrets, actually saying no to something that would have been eye-opening and ear-opening and would have actually given me a little bit more of a personality. But that's not, that wasn't for me. I then dabbled in a marching band for 6 months. I also played timpani, I'm trying to think what else I've played. Xylophone.
Oh, wow. You're much better than me.
No, trust me.
My mom was a singer and she played piano. So she bought me a piano when I was 8 to learn. And I was a terrible student. I didn't want to do it. And that's my really big regret. I had the piano, she bought it for me, and I just didn't do it. I just didn't. And then around the time I was 20, 21, I took piano lessons, and I took them for quite a long time. But every time I play the piano, my late husband would say, do you need to do that? Do you need to play the piano? So, and he loved me. So, I've never played live.
Yeah,
but it helps me.
My parents had they wanted to have someone in the family that had some music behind them.
Yeah.
So they kowtowed or accommodated the request, and then everything. I had 3 music teachers in my lifetime. One was a retired high school music teacher. And she had the best setup when it came to it. She had this huge speaker system that you actually had to turn it on before turning on the organ, and you had to turn it off before turning off the organ. Otherwise, you'd blow the system entirely. But she actually we went further in what I knew, like Elvis Presley for one. I'm trying to think what else. There's a bunch of tunes that Around the World in 80 Days, which is a classic in sheet music.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
So you're probably pretty good, Yannick.
I no longer have my organ. I gave it away to charity, and sadly, I should have kept it. But I decided that since I play keys, I
love the Hammond B3 organ. I remember I did a Michael Franks tune 2 albums ago.
Yeah.
Don't Be Blue, and I had the organ. There, the studio that I record at has a Hammond B3 organ, so it's great. So I will, any chance I get, I will use a Hammond B3 organ. I just love it.
I like the sound too.
There's something, there's just something really cool. I don't know what it is. I like Jimmy Smith, and what was the guy? He passed away recently. He was Joey DeFrancesco. I think it was
yeah,
he was
no,
great.
that's his name. He was amazing when it came to playing his Hammond B3.
Right.
But apart from those, I decided to take up the accordion and harmonica. But I suck at harmonica. I can belt out tunes, but nothing fancy. Accordion, it depends what I could do. Unfortunately, the harness has shrunk on me. My body expanded, and I can't wear it. But I used to bring it out at least once a year to actually just play the Chipmunk song. Santa Don't Be Late, I think, is one of the actual lyrics. But other than that, I dabble. Like I've got flutes made of PVC that you can play as they're almost like pea flutes. I've got other musical instruments like a chime set. And the metal drum that I actually decided to invest in, well, metal drum. It's a kettle drum, which is not the highest rank. It's like mid-rank to low rank, but it's enough that you get to know what you want from the sounds, and you get to know where the notes are based on the numbers that they provide.
Yeah. But even though I don't play well, I love writing songs, and that's what I'm good at. And I teach song. And I had a book that came out this year.
Oh.
On song. Oh, here it is. I happen to just have one. And it's at Roman and Littlefield. The Songwriter's Handbook. And it's basically it's what I've been teaching for 20 years at the university. I teach a class at UCLA Extension, and I teach at other schools too. And I've been very excited about it. So maybe look it up. It's good. And it talks about my life as a songwriter.
Oh, nice. I'll have to actually get my hands on a copy.
Yeah. But honestly, they gave me like 14 copies, which I went through in about 12 minutes. And these things are expensive, so if I have to buy it, it's like $21.
Well, $21 is just a drop.
This is just for me.
It's
$30.
Okay,
I
so
think you can get it for $25.
So songwriter's copy, or writer's copies is what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife is a writer. She writes fiction, or is it fiction? Yeah, it's fiction. And recently she's going into nonfiction.
Writing this book was longer than making an album. I got signed to a publisher, and then they assigned me to an editor, and the editor was fantastic, but she put me through the ringer. I mean, it was tough, but the book turned out well. I'm very happy about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that
I did that 2 years ago, actually.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, what's your favorite song on my new record, other than Vienna?
It would be either Paris on a Train, or on the train to Paris. It's either that or actually, there's too many. The one that I actually enjoy is Catwoman on the Moon.
I love that one.
That was the first one, but then I discovered that the devil doesn't take in the same. Yeah, exactly.
So let me tell you the story. You don't know the story of this song. So 10 years ago, my husband died. I think I told you that last time. And I waited about a little over a year, and then I started dating. I did online dating. And I dated some people. And I didn't have any terrible dates. But I had this one guy that he kept saying to me, first of all, I liked him a lot. And he was he was a screenwriter. He was a very intelligent guy. He had done well in the movie business. Very exciting, very interesting. But he kept saying to me, "You're such a nice guy. You're such a nice guy." And I said to him, "I'm not that nice. Yeah, okay, I'm nice." But I found out that he had, he liked bad boys. And I had friends who knew him, and they said, "Oh, well, he likes, and this and this." And it turned out, as we dated, that I just wasn't bad enough for him, to be honest. And he broke up with me,
Oh.
Yeah. But it was a good thing because I wrote the song. So I thought to myself, okay, that's not what he wanted. He wanted, he was sort of a bad boy himself, I guess. And he didn't want to sing. He wanted somebody, I don't know, he wanted what I outlined in the song. So I have to keep it general because he knows me, and we're still friends, and I don't want him to know that I wrote the song about him. But
Okay, well,
that's what I wrote that song about.
Yeah, but most songs come from experience, either from a past friend or a past lover, a past wife or man.
Yeah, I don't write songs that don't mean anything to me, except Train in the Desert, which was the song you were referring to. I actually wrote that song. I went to see, I always forget the woman's name, Georgia O'Keeffe exhibit at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. And there was a picture of a train coming out of a dust cloud in the desert. It was one of her paintings. And I immediately came up with an idea of that song. And it had nothing to do with my own private life. But I just came up with the idea, and I wrote it really quickly. And it's my favorite song on the record. I mean, I like Catwomen, and you like the same ones I like. I like those three. I like.
Yeah, well, that particular one for the train is the first thing that came to mind after I took a listen. Is I listened to it again because I wanted to understand some of the complexities in the song. Yeah. But I started thinking, my mind started hauling me to Frank Sinatra's "What Time Does This Miracle Leave?" which is almost 12 minutes long.
I don't know this song.
It's one of his recent.
Oh, okay. I'm going to listen to that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's worth a listen. Then you'll probably
I love Frank Sinatra.
You'll probably do a deep dive or go down the rabbit hole with the album because there's a lot of stuff on the album that I didn't know existed until I took a few minutes to actually peruse it and start playing it on the air. But this is one of the songs that I actually enjoy putting on the air more than once. It's just like a side of Sinatra that I never knew apart from his acting.
Wow.
So,
cool. You know something? I know that I remember this album now. And Gordon Jenkins, I think, wrote these songs.
That's possible.
Yeah. And I've never heard that. I've never heard that album. I think it's part of A Man and His Music. I think maybe the album in the U.S. was called A Man and His Music. Possibly. But it's past, present, and future.
Yeah. That's the one. Well, that's what they're showing as a cover for the Spotify version.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. I love hearing about new songs, songs I don't know about,
Well, I'm glad that you do, because it's...
And if you ever can think of a song I should sing, let me know. I'm always looking for songs that I didn't write that I should sing.
Maybe. For you, I would say, As Long As I'm Singing, which you can probably find from the... Bobby Darin biopic with Kevin Spacey.
Cool.
Because Kevin does sing in the actual...
He sings well. Kevin Spacey sings good.
Oh, yes.
I saw that movie, and he was good.
Yeah, the last song that he does on the film, where with his younger son or younger self, is probably one of the songs that I'd like to see you sing.
Okay. I'll look that up. I had that album. When that movie came out, I actually had that album. I listened to it on my Walkman.
Oh,
Remember those days?
I do remember those days. I still have CD Walkman, but it's not working as good as I'd like it to.
Yeah, no, mine is gone. I have what do you call? I have the first. What was it called? iPad. It was
iPod or iPod Touch.
iPhone, but it was just to put your music on. What was that called? iPad.
iPad.
No, not iPad.
Well, there's iPads that you would rip it. iTunes, which was the Apple music handling service.
Yeah. I still have an iTunes account.
So do I.
Anyway, sounds good. So I have a bunch of new songs.
Uh-huh.
I'm always working on songs. My friends say, but that's what I do. I write songs. And so I have some really good new songs we'll hear next year.
Okay, well.
Hopefully.
we
don't know.
Well, everything's possible, but we'll hope for the best. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So, Mark, thank you so much for taking time to actually be with me today.
My pleasure.
This was a blast. So,
good.
Anything else that you want to say before we shut off?
Sure. If they want to check me out, I have markwinklermusic.com, and everything's on that. And go to YouTube. I have all these videos. Have you seen the videos I have video? Yeah, you've seen all for Train in the Desert, and Cat Women on the Moon is really cute, and just a little taste. And I think it was a very good year. Speaking of Frank Sinatra, I did that one. So that's it.
That's it. Okay.
Thank you, Yannick. I really appreciate you having me on your show.
No, thank you for taking time.
Sure. And I'll see you next year, hopefully.
More than likely.
Okay.